impact of media and information channels can have major impact on lifelong learning, and citizens and need a basic knowledge of the function of media and other information providers and how to assess them. To purpose of media and information literacy, it's to impart this knowledge to the users. Put simple, MIL aims to able to individuals to think critically about the media and information they consume, the engaging in the process of injured the aim according to UNESCO definition of media and information literacy. It's to allow individuals to become engaged citizens and responsible decision makers. Types of MIL channels. Number 1, video advertisement, television, and YouTube. Number 2, audio channels, radio, and podcast advertisement. Number 3, newspapers. Number 4, printed and digital publication magazine. Number 5, out-of-home advertising. Number 6, social media. Number 1, video advertising, television, and YouTube. On July 1st, 1941, the first ever legal television advertising was broadcast in the state of New York during a Brooklyn Tigers vs. Philadelphia Phillies game, which was on the screen about 4,000 television in the decades that followed. The priority of television advertising is swelled along with the popularity of mass marketing. Today, television is one of the most popular media channels for marketers, especially with the advent of connected TV advertising, which uses viewer data for effective segmentation. Video ads had also expanded beyond the traditional cable box to include YouTube ads and online video. Media planners can now showcase their commercial across the web on various websites to connect with audience online. Audio channels, radio, and broadcast advertising. While radio technology was developed during the 19th century, the commercial capabilities of radio broadcasts were not until 1912, where record companies supplied free music to broadcasters in exchange for mentioning which company provided the record by the late 1920. Almost every U.S. radio station would play commercially sponsored programs. Today, traditional radio remains incredibly popular for listeners and advertisers. Unlike in which the rise of internet radio, it appears this audio-only method of advertising will remain popular throughout the digital revolution. Newspaper. Print mediums such as newspaper are one of the oldest media channels for advertisers. In the fact, newspaper advertisements propagate brands as literacy rates increased. In the 16th century, advertisers in Italy, Germany, and Holland began publishing print advertisements in weekly Getterance almost 500 years later, and the newspaper is still an effective channel that commands approximately $15 billion in advertising spent with the U.S. Print and digital publication magazine. The first magazine were published in the late 60s as a form of entertainment for the upper class and often discuss matters of philosophy, culture, and lifestyle. It wasn't until the 19th century that the middle class began distracting magazines, so publishers started selling ad space to offset improcting. printing costs, and expand their readership. By the 21st century, magazines were known for having distant audience and the option to purchase stable ads in full color in magazine. 2019 magazine advertising spend was worth an estimated 15.6 billion. Out of home advertising. In the 80s, out of home advertising started becoming popular. Billboards and morals advertising acts like Barnum and Bailey took over the country in later years. When the automobile was invented, billboards were adapted to seen along highways and interstate to advertise Coca-Cola, Palmolive, and other brands' latest products. In recent years, billboards have evolved even further and become digital. Times Square is just one of area digital of home advertising was taken over the city. Currently, there are even sensors and cameras being used in order to make the billboards experiences more interactive. While this one of the older forms of advertising, billboard were continuing to evolve and continue to be main form of media advertising. Social media is one of the newest platforms media to utilize social media advertisement. Evolved from the original digital banner ads, with the first social media placement occurring on Facebook in 2006. In less than a decade, advertisements on social media become the norm today. Social media platforms divide the bulk of their profit from attracting users to the service, then targeting them using available data.